So gentle is always just a nice way to kind of mix some yin in where we slow down, but really still connect our breath and movement. That is what Hatha Yoga is, just meditation, breath, movement. So let's sit up tall and notice if you're leaning over to one side. So let's make sure that we're sitting up nice and tall. And really start to feel the breath. So we're feeling the breath from our seat, move all the way up through the body, and then anywhere that you can feel in your face, and then sending the breath back down. So we're inhale, bringing it up, take a little pause, and then exhale, let it come down. Noticing the hips, we don't want them up. Good, pushing the belly out on the inhale and gently just drawing it back in. So we don't want to force, we just want to let it happen. Daniel Singer says, we could dare just to be here and have the courage not to know what to do. Wherever you're at is where you are supposed to be. So just nice and easy, not overthinking anything. Let's go ahead and place our hands on our knees. And as we move through a cat-cow, I really want you to focus that you're moving from the hips first. So we're here, and then we can open and look up. So it's not just back and forth staying in the chest, making sure that we're starting at the hips, at the pelvis. Let that lead you. Completely letting go the exhale before you fill up. So we're not rushing. And what I mean by forcing is that you're cutting the breath short to move to the next move. Let's just have some patience and let the breath be our teacher today. Really tapping into slowing down and quieting that mind chatter. Let's do one more full breath cycle. If you like to stay in one pose for another breath, go ahead and do so. Sitting up tall. Good, we'll reach our hands forward. Pausing for a breath or two. Even adding in a gentle little sway. See how the sides are doing today. And when you're ready, we'll come up into a tabletop position. Come into neutral first, and then let's start that cat-cow from the hips first. So I even like to just do a few tilts, just so I can bring awareness to the lower back, to the lower belly, and then I can start gliding into it with a little bit more freedom. Just really articulating the spine. And now as we're connecting more with the spine, you can really start to visualize the energy, the breath prana moving through the spine. Any kind of spinal movement connecting with the breath is really going to start to ease our nervous system and start allowing us to turn more inward. Wherever you land next, let's take an extra breath there. And just feeling and listening to the body. Moving on to the next pose and taking an extra breath there. We'll come to neutral. Open up the knees a little bit wider and then just gently make your way down. Allowing the hips to awaken. And then any variation of child's pose for you today as we just completely surrender to our mat. And just bringing in gratitude that you showed up for yourself. Forgiving yourself for any thoughts like I should be doing something else or I need to do something else. This is your time. Let's really just hone in on it. Good, we'll make our way back up to tabletop. So really try to move from the bottom first and then floating up, pulling the belly in. So here we're gonna lift up the left leg. And now I'm just gonna cross it behind the right and then slide back. If you want a little bit more, you can take your hands out to the outside of the mat and slide down. We'll just spend a couple breaths just so you can kind of feel what's going on. Pull the belly in, we'll take it to the other side. So right leg up, we'll just bend, cross over the back, point the toe, and just slide onto the top there. Again, like I said, if you want some more, just angle yourself and slide it back. Starting to open up the glutes and the hips. Good, let's go back to center. We'll go back to the left side, and this time we're gonna hold there for a bit. So just ease into wherever you feel that the stretch feels nice. I think I'm just gonna come onto my forearms and just hang out here. Don't wanna overstretch anything this morning. Paying attention to how the neck and shoulders are receiving the pose. Always, every asana is just full body, so we're always scanning. Inhale. Let's take a couple cat-cows in the center, really focusing on the hips, opening up the lower back. When you're ready, picking up the right, swiveling, and then taking it back, maybe a little deeper this time, maybe not. Not a big deal. I'm more concerned about with you connecting your breath and being aware of how the body's feeling. Not just in that one particular spot, but the body as a whole. Good, let's come back to center. We're gonna bring the knees closer together this time and take a child's pose. Palms up to the sky. Drop the head. Feeling the movement of the breath in the back. Bring the chin in as much as you can. Exhaling out the mouth. Good, let's make our way back up to tabletop. We're going to bring that right leg forward so that we can find our kneeling plank, or excuse me, our kneeling lunge. Taking the arms behind us, we're just going to grab onto opposite forearms, okay? So again, we're staying in this lower region, really planting, finding that base in the front foot. So then let's just open up from the bottom, from that L5, okay, sacrum, stay low. Pushing, opening the shoulders, squeezing them together. Breathe here. If you'd like to take your chin up. Now we're aware of that breath in the front of the body. Good. Inhale, pull the belly in. We'll come to center. Hands to our heart. Let's lean forward. Now feeling the breath in the front and the back. This is where it starts to become that full body breath. Inhale, let's execute a twist. So you can stay up high to twist, or if you like to do our hook to come around, good. Inhale, stretch that spine. Exhale, bring it out, pull the belly button in. Make the poses count. They all have a purpose. Inhale, exhale, come out. We'll take it back, and we're just gonna move through some cat-cows. Focusing on the lower, rolling up, just trying to find more of a fluid movement instead of it being so jerky. Just a wave. Finishing that breath cycle up, and when you're ready, lots of core support to bring the left up. Establish, make sure that the head is over the hips first, zipping up here, a little tilt, then grabbing. Then we'll use this as a reminder to push from the bottom first, open up, squeeze the shoulder blades. I think it's really easy to squeeze those shoulder blades together when we have this mudra with our arms. Planting firm in that front foot, curling the back toes if you need a little extra support. Good. Inhale as we rise to center. Hands to heart. Either you're keeping your twist up high, twisting at the chest here, or we're going to lean forward, again, twisting at the chest. We don't want to crank on that lower back. Spread the fingers, make the palms touch. Feel every fingertip touch. Just a moving meditation. That's all that your Hatha Yoga practice is. Inhale, come to center. And then we'll take it down. Move through a few cat-cows. Whenever you're ready, we'll just bend a leg, and then we're just going to create a circle here, okay? So just drawing with the knee, however small or big, just starting to work that hip socket. So you notice that just little movements and connecting with your breath, just unifying those two, that's yoga. It doesn't have to be standing on your head. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. We'll go opposite directions. And I just read something this morning by Iyengar, and he said, people want to stand on their head when they don't even know how to stand on their feet. That's just awesome. Let's go ahead and come to the other side, doing some circles. So you could really even hike it up or just keep it small. But if you do keep it small, you will start to be able to get more range of motion. So go ahead and play with that a little bit. Good, opposite, whenever you're ready. Everybody's body is different. We're all feeling different. So these are just some guides. And then whichever variation you need of child's pose, knees together, knees out. Landing there, taking some water whenever you need. I'll just give you a couple breaths just to start to continue to integrate everything. Good, so let's go ahead and find our right side. We're gonna come into our side plank. So from your tabletop, you just kickstand over, and then we're all in a nice line here. If you need more support, then that long leg is gonna come forward, okay? So we'll come right side, Vasisthasana variation. Good, fingertips behind the head. Open up, so we really spin this lung open to the sky, continuing to push away and find that bottom leg, long line of energy here. Whatever's touching the floor, I want you to feel it. Breathe. Good, let's work that arm around. So whichever direction works for you, you can come down or you can swing up. You can exercise your eyes and watch the hand go. Just again, getting that full rotation. So we'll just go in one direction because sometimes we get hitched up in the shoulders. One shoulder isn't as happy as the other. So whichever direction feels good, let's just go with that one. Good, the next time your arm is up, let's see if we can push ourselves up to a gate pose. There we are, all the way up. And then we'll slide the left hand down the long leg and reach up and over. Should be a really nice stretch. We're gonna take it slow, so reach up, really pulling up and then over, arm along the ear, taking a gaze down at that long leg there, feeling that beautiful side stretch. Good, we'll reach back up to center and then watch the hands come down to the mat Coming back into a tabletop. And stretching out the belly here. Let's hang out for one more breath here, then we'll move to the other side. So again, you can curl the toes to help you up. I like it in a long line, but if you're not feeling steady, then we'll place it to the front. Spread those fingers, fingertips behind the head, open it up. Now this is my real tight side, so this feels amazing. Breathe into the belly. Hanging out for a couple more breaths, or if you're ready to start stretching that arm out, just reaching out endlessly. And we'll sweep it up, coming into our gate. Taking a pause before you set up and move to the other side, reaching up and then over. Palm down usually works. Paying attention to that outer hip. Let it soften. Staying strong on the outside of that long foot here. Releasing, nice and slow. We have the belly in as we come into any transition. And then I'll give you about a good 10 breaths to do your own stretching here. We've gone into the hips, the spine, the shoulders. So now you really have a good gauge on how the body's feeling. If there's one side that needs a little bit more attention, I'll just give you some time here. So we'll go ahead and grab some water if you need some. Then we're going to meet in our staff pose, Dandasana. So make sure that if you like to sit on your blanket, you do. Otherwise, I'm always removing that flesh so I can find my sitting bones. Posture, alignment, most important here. Toes up to the sky. Let's see if we can even lift the heels up. So that really activates the thighs, lifting the heels up. You can really feel that power here. The hip flexors working, core is engaged, and then we'll gently set them down. So let's take some flows here. I always like to take the spine in every direction. Inhale here, exhale, let's lean, reach. Initiating from the hip pelvis area. Keeping our knees bent if we need to today. Belly to thighs. Let's just take a couple more here. Good, coming back up to center, we're gonna cross our arms. The right is gonna go on top of the left, thumbs down. Okay, so we're crossed, thumbs down. Now we're going to reach for the feet. So grab wherever you can, or if you have a strap nearby, grab that. Okay, so right arm's on top. We've made this X and my thumbs are down. Now let's drop the head in. Bringing that breath all the way up to the space between your shoulder blades, feeling that nice upper back, neck stretch. Now we're going to take a look underneath that right arm as much as you can. So we're going to get a little twist here. And let's work this pose, breathing slowly. We're not cranking on it. Noticing what's happening, trying to stay in our base of support and just twisting at the chest. Enjoying that great stretch. Good, let's move to center. We'll let the hands find the legs. Let's just slide up halfway and take a break. Exhaling out the mouth. So even though it doesn't seem like the twist are that much, because sometimes we feel like we can barely get a rotation, we're still doing a lot of work there. So let's take a pause, and then we'll come up. Let's plant the feet, hands behind, and then we'll just gently lift up to reverse table. Good, gently coming out. And we'll move to a butterfly here. Baddha Konasana. Good, let's take a full breath cycle and then we'll extend the legs out. Setting up the pose. We're never rushing into anything to catch up, okay? You build the pose first. Settle in with the breath. Arms out to the side as we cross in front. And now this time the left is going to be on top. Let's lean forward. Thumbs down. Reach where we can. And just imagine everything that's touching the ground is stretching. So the heels to the Achilles, the calves, back of the knees, hamstrings, sitting bones, low back, all the way up. Beautiful stretch here. Letting the head go. If you're not feeling anything in the neck, maybe just try tucking the chin into the chest a little bit more. Feel the stretch, because that's going to go all the way up the neck, even to the scalp. Twisting under the left when you're ready. Let's unwind, hang out for a second, exhale out the mouth. And then just walking up one breath at a time. We're gently going to come onto our backs just to rest for a moment. Sometimes we'll just move through our practice and not rest. And so it's really good just to take a moment in your practice just to come out to that star position. Good, let's walk the feet in just a little bit. We'll glide them up. Let's just take a few bridge flows. So up to you if you'd like to have your arms above you at your side, palms down. Just a little release here. Making sure that we're really incorporating that scoop. So even when I come down flat, I like to dip to find the tip of my tail, and then I'll scoop and come up using my glutes there, just so I know that I'm really staying in this lower region. Feels good just to rock it back and forth. We'll draw the knees in. So let's just find that pumping motion. Knees out, exhale in. Good, so we're gonna find a wall now. Putting our legs up on the wall. And then we'll take the legs wide. And then we're gonna bring the toes towards each other. So if you feel like you need to open up a little bit wider, so we'll bring the toes in and then out. So now let's bring them to that hip distance. We'll bring them in towards each other, arms behind us. Spread the fingers. And then we're going to take our palms out. So it's going to look like this. So we're here, then here. Here, and open. So that the palms are up to the sky. And then the toes are together. So this doctor that I follow, I think he's a chiropractor, he said that this pose, if I'm doing it correctly, which it feels pretty good, really stretches out that lower back. So let's just hang out here. Couple more breaths. Then we'll release. Come into a comfortable position, and we're going to take our Shavasana with our legs up the wall. But Prita Karani, one of my favorite poses. You can do it anywhere just to recharge. So sink in here. Let it all go. Making sure that even the tension in your toes and ankles is dissipated. And just enjoy the silence for a moment. Nicely done. Bring a smile to that face. Start to stretch it out. Just hanging out where you're at or rolling up to a seated. And I'll close this class out. We'll just seal up all this goodness. Always so good to see you, and it doesn't take very much for you just to take care of yourself, and now you're going to have a super rad day. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you very soon. I bow to you. Namaste.